All right, guys, let's move on to the other side of the country now. Let's talk about a place that I'm very familiar with. It is Baltimore City. Now, something just happened here in Baltimore City where it's mirroring what we're seeing in cities like San Francisco. We have a flight of commercial real estate in the downtown area. We're in all of these areas where you have certain policies and certain politicians, right? So what's going on more? Okay. Well, we got this tower, this office tower. Let me show you because if you're familiar with the downtown area, everybody knows. Okay, 1 South Street, everybody knows it. So the 1 South Street tower, check out what just happened. This office tower was dumped at a 60% discount. Fire sale. Following the failures of several regional banks earlier this year, we've been closely monitoring the commercial real estate sector, noticing increasing risk in the office space market. Commercial real estate tightened considerably in response to the Fed's aggressive interest rate hikes over the past 16 months to combat inflation. Office badge swipes, that's basically tracking when someone uses that badge to come in. So they're looking at that and saying, all right, the frequency of people coming in and out of these offices to work is down. And other occupancy metrics indicate a downshift in demand for office space. The latest alarm bell of sliding commercial real estate prices in downtown areas across the U.S. in major cities is the sale of an office tower at 1 downtown Baltimore. Now, guys, this is a 30-story office building. They unloaded it in June for $24 million. That, again, is a 63.6% discount versus the tower's 2015 sale of $66 million. So imagine if you had an opportunity to pick up a $600,000 house, $600,600 house, and you had the opportunity to pick it up for $240,000. That's basically, what opened in 1992. The tower has 479,000 square feet and is the first sale of its kind in the post-pandemic era. The Baltimore Sun, which is the local liberal rag newspaper that no one reads. In fact, most people in this area, we eat steamed crabs. That is the one thing that the Baltimore Sun is good for. We use it to put on our table so the crab claws don't scratch up the table. That and birdcage liner. The Baltimore Sun confirmed that Virginia-based American real estate partners sold sale to New York-based BHN Associates. Now, this article goes on to mention the fact that crime, the downtown area is beset with crime. Now, this used to be the crown jewel of Baltimore City. Harbor Place, okay, used to be booming. I worked in downtown in the, the late 90s, early 2000s. And it was bustling. It was like a little New York City. Now, no one wants to go downtown. Harbor Place is a shadow of what it used to be. There's like one whole pavilion has like one vendor in it. Okay. It's just sad. A lot of people don't want to come downtown because of the crime. We're in the midst in this city right now of a trial where a squeegee kid shot and killed a man in broad light. And if you don't know what a squeegee kid is, it's a person who has the thing that you wipe your windows off with your windshield, and they come up to you at the stoplight and they pester you, try to get you to give them money for a function that your car already does and can do like 90 miles per hour if you need it. So anyway, this squeegee kid got into a altercation with a driver, shot the driver dead in broad daylight, right down here, not far from this tower. Okay, bullets flying, weekday, all right, in what used to be the crown jewel of Baltimore. So when people hear about stuff like that, they say, I'm not bringing my family down there. For what? Okay, it's been the site of protest for Black Lives Matter. People are like, nah, there are plenty other places, Howard County, Columbia area, that I could go and have a great time and not fear for my life or the life of my family. Occupancy drives value, and many buildings downtown are struggling to maintain that occupancy, said Terry Harrington. She's a commercial real estate broker. Yeah, they're struggling to maintain the occupancy because of the problems that Baltimore is having. And we talked about Gavin Newsom. So we got a mayor down in Baltimore City. This individual, Brandon Scott, we call him Mayor BS, and that's being charitable. Brandon Scott wouldn't know how to manage his way out of a wet paper bag. And luckily for the city, his poll numbers are in the toilet, and he probably won't win re-election. But that really isn't saying much because a liberal will come and occupy the office after him. So we'll see. Let's check out some of these here. Let's see. Yeah, this is a real issue, Josephine. Imagine raising little kids in a place where you grow up and is afraid to go out on your own porch. That's a real concern here in Baltimore. There was a gentleman, father, husband in Baltimore City years ago, not too long ago. It was like 2015. He had a property where drug dealers would do their transactions like in his alley, and he had to continue to occur. So he built a fence, okay, to stop them from doing that. They shot this guy dead. And now the kids have no father. The wife has no husband. That's the kind of thing that's going on. Garrett says trauma is definitely part of the goal, and it's very sad. You're right. You're right. We need to protect our children. Growing up in an immoral and traumatized environment raises immoral people who go on to hurt others. And guys, look, that's true. But here's the thing. The reason why we're doing this stuff on a channel called The Soldiers of Finance is because your liberty is directly correlated with your economic freedom. Okay. And when the Constitution talks about tyranny, they don't only mean, tyranny can come from a variety of places. And there are hardworking people who live in Baltimore City who pay their taxes, okay, and are subject to the tyranny of criminal behavior. And then you got the government whose first obligation is to protect the citizenry, right? Why else would you need government? They turn right around and they make it difficult for these law-abiding citizens to redress, all right, and live in a place that is, considered safe. That's why that guy's crowing about being punched in the face. He knows nothing is going to happen, okay? Okay, Jackass Whiskey and Pinto Beans, my favorite screen name. He says, when I was in Iraq, I was young and dumb. My platoon was racially diverse as you could want. Probably 50% black and 40% white, 5% Hispanic. That was 1990. My squad leader was a friend, and he was black. He had a stuttering problem, which I had. He was promoted to platoon leader. I thought he picked on me, but I realized that he had to do that. That's interesting. Again, the media would like us to believe that we can't exist together when every day of the week we're doing just that, harmony. Okay, but the media would like to cast a different type of perception out there. All right, so that's what's happening in Baltimore. We got a big old office tower that sold for pennies on the dollar, and you're going to see more of that because there are a lot of people that are afraid to come downtown. We got a carjacking problem too in Baltimore, and people are on two sides of that. They're saying, "Look, I don't, excuse me, I don't want to be put in a position where I have to maybe." Because we do, after that Supreme Court ruling, a lot of people in the state now legally carry firearms. A lot of people are like, and I'm like this, I don't want to be in a position where I have to use a firearm. So I don't go places with good of that possibly happening is higher. I stay out of those places. Okay. And so a lot of people are on that end of it and saying, I don't want to have to take on anybody. This is not the OK Corral. I'm not Wyatt Earp. I just want to live a peaceful life. So I'm going to stay my butt out of Baltimore City. Then you got the cadre of folk that are like, I'm just frightened about going into the city because they just steal your car. Maybe they'll shoot you. Maybe they'll pistol whip you. And then you end up in the hospital and your car's gone. And in America, a lot of people, I would dare say most people, their car is integral ability to generate income because they got to either take the car to work or they use the vehicle for work. We know an electrician. We had a house, it was actually a condo, for sale in Washington, D.C. And the electrician that came to work on it the week before, he'd been carjacked in his work van. Okay. And in D.C. So imagine how that could. Now, he worked for a larger company, so they were able to just put him in another van. But imagine if that's like a two-guy operation. Okay. Oh, thank you. The Internationalist. How you doing? Hey, Cap, your channel is a great place for me to keep up the chaos news and a great USA. I focus more on the great stuff, on my great state of California. Yeah, California is important to focus on because the saying is, so goes California, the nation, eventually, right? And California is the most populous state in the union. They got Los Angeles, which is really one of those few areas in America that without the electoral college that they're always trying to would decide it would no one besides New Yorkers, folk in California, to some extent Texas and Florida would have any say in presidential elections if it weren't for the electoral college because of heavyweight population in the Los Angeles area. So yeah, California is definitely a bellwether, canary in the coal mine. All right. Also with Baltimore, I don't have it up on the screen, but it's recently with 100 in affordability. So Baltimore is becoming less affordable and being more filled with just kind of counterintuitive. Yeah, and California is the richest state in America, fifth largest economy in the world. Absolutely. If it was a country, it would be, I think it would be bigger financially than France. Okay.